Aboard the mighty airship Windswift, 4 valiant captains of the Order of Astari are tasked with hunting down the madmen who would bring back the Dragon Overlords. These are the adventures of the Windswift. Hello and welcome to this episode of The Adventures of the Windswift. Now, in our last episode, we've met some cultures and could quite possibly be growing some between our toes, depending on how it goes. So the Dice of Destiny is going to tell us who it is in its Mutaru. Michael, would you please give us a recount of what happened in last week's episode?
Well, of course. The Windswift, as you know, had been battered, bruised, beaten, and put through the proverbial ringer before finally making its way across the Kadar Mountains towards the land of the Chung, where we had finally set down in, of course, the large capital city of Bianku, where we were greeted by a large contingency of my fellow Chung people. And taken before the daimyo, the man or the mu in charge of the city itself. He wished to know what we intended with the city, and of course, we responded honestly. We wanted repairs, and we needed passage across the way to our destination of Akbeg. However, the very gracious daimyo offered to not only, for a moderate fee, repair our vessel, but a comrade of his offered us passage across the channel. This comrade, of course, being a very unexpected ally in the Graith, known as Collier. Now, this man, Graith, seemed quite, let's say predatorial in nature, and had his own agenda for the infamous Graith Empire, and, of course, our 4 captains. This, of course, being the request that we investigate a rather bizarre incident that had occurred over the Graith borders, that of course being the, I suppose, scalification of a Graith corpse hand that he had on his person. Rather bizarre, rather weird, obviously right down the alley of us, the Order of Astari, hunters of megalomaniacs and those who would worship the dragons. Before obviously agreeing to this and traveling onwards to a nearby city, dwarven city called, I have it here, Moreg Lee, where we were met with the rather cheerful, happy, friendly, bouncy dwarven people. No, I'm kidding. They were really hard to gauge. Stoic, stone-faced. Couldn't read them. Dwarven people who had told us that if we wished to get to Akbeg, we would probably not be able to make it in our due time if we were to take it by sea. So we came up with another idea. Let's take horseback, cut through the forest, and deal with some cannibal centaurs. And that is where we find ourselves, up in Morley, preparing to walk into the dark forest of cannibals and centaurs and things. Ha 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 ha! Yes!
Alright, and on that note, we pick it up in Moreg Lee, as they say. Your dour hosts are not so dour now that they know that you can speak Dwarvish, and are quite happy to take you up to the Citadel.
So on our way to the Citadel, I would ask if they had, I don't ask, I inquire who the best smith is in town.
That's quite a complicated question.
Armorsmith.
That narrows it down a wee bit.
That produces gear for the likes of me.
Oh, a foreigner. Yeah.
Give a smile.
We're in mourning.
Oh.
We lost
They're
our
always
entire civilization.
That's rather unfortunate.
Are you a drow sympathizer?
No, he is not.
I'm sorry, you pray tell lost a civilization?
You hadn't heard about the thievery of the Drow as they stole away all of our dwarvish lands that were in the Underdark?
Yes, of course. It is a well-known and tragic history.
Aye.
Yeah, I can assure you that you will find none of us are any particular fans of the Drow.
Aye. All right. Well, if you want to get to Eichbach and you need to do it in 3 days, the forest is your only course of action. There's only one ship that comes this far south this time of year, and unfortunately it's not due for another week. As to your armor smith,
that you are a guide.
we'll find someone to guide you through the forest. There are bound to be one or two who are willing to take you. I already know
Guide
of
to the city.
one indeed who might do it. But I warn you, he's a strange sort.
But we must be strange to you too.
Aye, that you are. He leads you into the city. Now, unlike other races, the dwarves have not accommodated for their taller allies. Every doorway is 5 foot, causing you to have to bow, to bend as you move into the different structures. But it's not long. Soon he takes you to an armor smith, this dwarf with massive arm muscles who's busy banging away on plate. Yes, Mutaru?
How do I handle with my horns?
You have to kind of bend, go sideways. And crab in. And
you
then
know what,
stand
guys?
hunched.
I, as much as I'd love the accommodation, I think I'll stay outside. If you guys like throw some meat over the walls, I'll be good.
Suit yourself.
No disrespect intended, of course, but you guys know where to find me. I feel like I'll end up with a third horn if I went into the city.
Oh.
Aye. All right, the armor smith looks at you, Blackston.
Yeah, I'll just talk with him.
All right. You want to just purchase armor?
Yeah.
All right, that's up. That's not a problem. He'll sell it to you at the cost in the book. It's not long before he takes you to what you think is a tavern.
Mm-hmm.
But you've never heard a tavern as quiet as this one until at some point someone starts to stand on a goose, and whilst they're gently squeezing the goose and making it produce this protracted screeching noise, someone appears to get hold of a cat and starts to punch it in the stomach, creating this burst of different notes as the poor creature is manhandled in a very inhumane way.
Yeah, just taking a little bit of a look at Con, how he reacts to this.
What is this awful sound that they're trying to make?
As you step inside, you realize that it is a very large dwarvish man or woman, you're not sure. They all have beards. And he or she appears to be squeezing a large bladder through which various pipes and things are sticking. It must be dwarvish bagpipes, of course, that this dirge is slowly screaming out in agony. There is a dwarf sitting blowing smoke rings as he listens to the music. He has all the trappings about him of being a druid. He's got furs on, his hat, helmet thing is an elk, and his collar, like the rest of the dwarves, his collar is made out of elk horns that are intertwined with one another. The collars are awfully impractical. You can see the dwarves often have difficulty going through doorways and things, and they sort of have to turn sideways, and sitting is very uncomfortable with these large mantles. But it's obviously this particular culture that's got them.
let's get this business over with and get out of here. I'm not sure my ears can withstand this for very long.
It is truly moving, I agree, says your guide.
That's what I meant, yes.
My heart just breaks.
Aye, it is moving. The death of Morag. Aye, 'tis sad. 'Tis sad, 'tis true.
There's like an actual tear coming out just from the pain straining from it. Just
He introduces you to this druid. This is Gladershank. He is a local who knows the forest. He'll take you through. And mind you, listen to what he says with maybe half an ear. Aye, he's a bit odd.
Good to make your acquaintance, Gladershank.
Gladershank stands up, all of 4 foot, with his mantle of horns, looks you up and down. Aye, it'd be a pleasure to meet you too. And then he starts to sniff you.
I take back what I said.
That's very strange. I haven't smelt that before for quite some time.
Well, I admit it's been a while since I had a proper wash, but I hardly think that's any...
No. You've been lying with wolves.
I have done...
Nope. Not really much of a sexual
no
man.
such thing.
My nose knows you've been lying with wolves. Aye. That and at sea.
Yeah, let's see.
Fascinating. So I'm told you're the man who can get us through the forest.
Why do you want to go into Dwagadaga Forest?
That is our business.
Well, as your guide, I would assume it would be my business to know where I'm taking you.
Your business is to be paid to lead us safely from one end of the forest to the other. A simple journey, surely.
As quickly as possible.
Dwagadaga Forest has got about 6 different ends. Which end did you have in mind?
We're travelling north-south, are we?
East-west.
East-west. Sorry, beg your pardon.
But specifically, yes, west.
You want to go to Tarach Bay?
Yep.
Well, why didn't you say so? Alright, we can get you there. It'll take us about a week and a half of good hiking. No. Aye, it will.
I'm not there.
3 days.
3 days?
Yes, that is correct. We need 3 days. Make it happen.
You're talking about a journey of about 200 miles through the most inhospitable forest that you could possibly imagine.
To Achbech.
Aye. Achbech? I thought you wanted to go to the bay.
Oh.
Don't listen to the little man.
I'm on a pilgrimage to the holy sites.
Oh, that explains it. Well, all right then. Aye, I can do that for you in 3 days. That's no problem. We'll just be skirting through Dwagadagar Forest. That's not a problem.
Sorry, we get confused with all the names.
Aye, the Duchels and the Dwachs are very tricky down here. But it's a local dialect. All right, well, when do you want to leave?
It's morning at this point, right? We arrived in morning?
No.
Now? Oh, that's not a problem. All right. Now, I just have one question, which you need to answer truthfully. I'll know if you're lying. I've got a sense about these sort of things. Do any of you eat meat?
Yes.
I think all of us eat meat.
Aye, all right, that's fine. Do any of you eat meat of other humans?
What?
This is disgusting.
Ah, all right.
You do know we're with the Hastari, right?
The who?
Yes.
Exactly.
Right, well, anyway, the reason why I ask is I just have to make sure that none of you are cannibals and will try and eat us whilst we're on our journey.
What?
We would be having the shakes if we did that.
Right,
We are
well,
not cannibals.
good. We will be passing through cannibal territory, however.
Good.
What?
This-
Good. What?
Wait, what? You want to go through the cannibal territory?
If it's unavoidable and we have to encounter some, then so be it.
Aye, well,
God.
hopefully we can work our way around them. We don't have to go through their territory necessarily.
We would like to avoid delay.
Aye, well, let's leave right now. I'm ready. I was listening to this very moving piece of music, but I can hear it another time. I'm sure the music won't change.
No, probably not.
He gets up and, well, he's already standing. He makes it to the door. He
Well,
sees
we didn't
you.
realize he was already standing, to be fair.
Yes. He sees you standing there, Mutaru.
Isn't he
He
outside of
runs
the
up
city?
to you and starts smelling you up and down.
I give him a good hearty sniff back.
Well, that's not happened before. You have the scent.
I don't know. You'd have to tell me. I think I bathed recently.
Ah, no. This is all very strange. You're going to have to tell me right now. Why are you all sleeping with wolves?
Wolves.
Do you want to get paid or not?
Oh, you mean that wet dog smell?
Aye.
Oh, yeah, no, unfortunate circumstances of our journey. Nothing too drastic, but yes, I had to share a bed that I would rather not speak of, as I'm fairly sure that there was, in fact, some sort of canine creature permeating in it for a while.
Aye. Well, now find out one way or another. Cannibals have a way of making you talk. All right, it will be 5 gold pieces to take you to Eichberg. Is that agreeable?
I'll give you 10. Stop asking us questions.
Right, you are then. In which case, let's get going.
Thank you.
All right, so the 4 of you and your dwarf guide Gladyshank start to leave the city of Morachli behind you. The journey to the forest itself is rather pleasant. The sun is out, the clouds are nowhere to be seen, and the fields are starting to bloom and blossom with the arrival of a new season. The road is excellently maintained. Beautiful inlaid stone makes sure that there isn't a trip up or a fall anywhere to be had. But it is about midday when you come to a stop, and looking over the plains in front of you, you can see this very dark forest that stretches to the north and to the west of you from where you are. There is very little bird call that comes from the woods as you get closer and closer, and as a matter of fact, the foliage and the undergrowth gets sparser and sparser as the carpet of leaves gets thicker and thicker and thicker. As you start to enter, Gladyshank stops. All right now. We only need to be in here for about a day and a bit. Keep your voices low. We're not going to have no fires. We're not going to sing songs. We're going to be quiet little rabbits moving through the forest. Is that understood?
I nod and my armor shinks as I do this.
I nod and all the bells on my parade armor jingle.
Oh dear. All right. As quiet as little rabbits wearing bells and metal armor can be, I suppose. I'll provide whatever food it is that we need to survive. That won't be a problem for me. We will stop this evening at about midnight, so it will be a hard push. we'll stop at a spring. We can refill water canteens there, and then we will continue on at first light. Are there any questions?
Why are we not moving?
That's a good question.
Okay. Keep moving, but as we're moving, it's like, should we be wary of any predators out in the forests? Something that you think we more prepared for?
Most of the wildlife shouldn't be a problem. I can make sure they don't have anything to do with us. If you see what looks to be a horse cross a man or a woman, it's too late and they already have us in their sights, so I wouldn't worry too much about it. They're not very subtle, the Centauri.
Just taking a once over from the environment, like with
Right.
Mutaru's obviously size and girth, and the fact that he uses quite a long weapon. What is the what is the situation trying to
How thick is the
swing my blade?
forest? Like how,
So the
Yeah.
forest itself, as you get deeper and deeper, gets broader and wider and more spacious, until eventually it feels like you're walking across the hall of a massive castle with these tree trunks that just stretch up to infinity as columns. So you easily got 50, 60 foot between each tree.
Okay.
But the branches have grown over and interlocked, hiding all the light. So that after about 20 minutes of walking into the forest, it's almost difficult to walk. It's so dark. Low light vision, of course, helps. Those that don't have it, you can see by this gloom. The journey continues on, and it feels as if you've been walking. It could be in a straight line, it could be in a circle. It's very difficult to tell in this forest. Every tree looks the same after a while. But you come to a stop, and Gladyshanks puts his finger to his lips and then steps back, revealing this carcass. It's a deer that has been spread-eagled on spiked spears and allowed to rot in place. Feathers have been attached to it in various points and places, and clay has been added to give it a certain amount of dimension. But he points to that, and he says, "That's a territorial marker. Beyond this point, we're now entering into the Centaur regions. We should be very careful. These beasts do not like to communicate or negotiate. There's none of that type of thing. If they attack us, we defend ourselves until they stop. Usually they'll stop when they realize that there is more to lose than there is to gain by taking us. Is that clear?"
Sure.
Perfectly clear.
He then tightens his belt, pulls his collar of horns. He pulls that off and puts it on his arm as a shield and continues to move forward.
Planning to make
How far through their territory, like time-wise, do we need to travel?
You're going to be emerging around about the afternoon tomorrow.
Okay.
Roughly, if your calculations are correct.
I mean, the dwarf said what, in 1.5 days, right?
Yeah. So you continue onwards, the gloom ever pervasive, until eventually at certain points you wonder whether you are actually seeing anything or if it's just the same dark morass that has been all along. Eventually, however, he calls for a stop. You have heard nothing but the sounds of your own footfalls, your metal armor jingling and creaking, and occasionally something way up in the branches gives flight in a flap of wings before disappearing. There is a small spring that has wetted the ground and has started to flow down its journey towards the sea. He points to a circular area. It's obviously been used before. There's small stones that have been arrayed in a circle. He points inside the circle. We'll sleep here the night.
All right.
Very good.
We should have a watch going.
Yes, I think that's probably wise.
I'll take first watch.
All right. Second watch from Utaru.
Very good. I'll take third.
Okay. It is a cold and hard night. The ground, although covered in leaf litter, starts to prove to be full of knotted roots that seem to somehow always find exactly where you're lying and poke at your shoulder blade or your hip or the back of your neck. Or just as you rest your head down, suddenly what was soft has got a knot in it from somewhere. You don't know how. It seems to know exactly where. First watch.
This is basically my expression the whole time. Just
I understand the dwarves now.
yes.
One of the advantages of being a druid is you can always find a comfortable spot in the wild to sleep.
Yeah, because you turn to something fluffy and adorable.
I hate you.
A bed of dandelions.
Graham, you are taking watch. Would you please give me a perception check? You have disadvantage.
I know. Great. This is why I'm first. Nice. Even better. 6.
You are sitting there almost overwhelmed by this heavy silence. You can hear every now and again the sound of someone breathing or trying to turn over, trying to get a better position. But otherwise there is just this loud absence of audio. And sometimes you think you see something and you strain your eyes and you stare and you look hard, but there isn't anything there. And thankfully, your internal clock eventually says your shift is up. Time to wake up, Mutaru.
Yep. And I
Good luck.
Go over to Taro and just find like a piece of grass and just kind of steadily, slowly stuff it into his nostril. And then it's time to just wake up.
Mutaru gets up. Mutaru's awake.
Oh, sorry, I couldn't tell.
Mutaru wipes the sleep from his eyes and still trying to keep as quiet as possible, again, despite the jingling. He sort of stands, takes a big yawn, grabs the naginata. Is there like a rock or something for him to sit on, or a stump?
There are the little stones, rocks that have formed the circle. Yes, you can sit on one of those.
Yep, he'll sit atop of one of them, sort of, legs crossed in a lotus position, with his using his naginata to kind of balance, because despite looking very meditative, he's actually got very poor sense of balance, so he's just sort of like good. And I will
glare at the darkness. It glares back at you, defiant. It will show you none of its secrets, unless you make a perception check, of course.
Kia! Ooh, that is a 19 on my perception.
There are 20 centaurs. How did Greem not see this?
We are completely surrounded. They have helicopters.
So
I didn't
you
notice.
are staring into this dark space when you definitely see movement. There is something out there, very cautiously, very quietly moving amongst the trees. From what you can make out, it's vaguely horse-shaped.
Is it? I'll watch it for, say, a couple of minutes. Like, just sort of keep trying to track it. If it's obviously not leaving the area, I'll very, very carefully, very quietly take my staff and start poking the dwarf in
Okay.
the side.
Well, for the first minute, it seems to be walking just at the edge of your vision. Then it stops, and you hear a rattling sound. It sounds like bones banging against each other.
Stab, 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 stab.
Stab?
The dwarf
Well, I'm sort of...
rouses. He looks up.
Does he hear the rattling?
The rattling stopped.
Telepathy! Haha! Holy crap, there's a giant horse. It made a rattling sound. Is that bad?
He slowly gets up. Blackston, you are shaken awake.
Hmm?
Shh, 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 shh. He wakes up Graham, who's had half an hour of sleep.
Oh, I'm sorry then, because I always have like my dagger in my lap, so I will be like.
Oh, actually, if that's the case, we would know about that, because then I would sort of,
Yeah, of course.
maybe wake up Graham.
Yeah, of course you know.
Yeah,
Con-
so I definitely do.
You are woken up.
What?
He looks over at you, Mutaru. How many?
I'm gonna say it to these guys as well. I think I saw one centaur off in the distance, just out of my vision, who rang a bone rattle.
Calling for
But only one did I see.
After killing. Calling for help.
I turn into a tiger.
Good enough for me. Do you still see him? Where is he?
Specifically, a tiger has dark vision and enhanced smell.
So you can definitely get the scent that there are these large horse-like beings, but there's a funny smell of human sweat there as well. They have possibly, you can only sense from the direction that there's a slight breeze coming from, but you can sense that there are at least 6 of them.
Meow.
Yow. All right,
So we're pretty much surrounded.
that's what you're picking up, yes.
So I very carefully with my paw draw a circle
All right.
in the dirt.
All right. I am going to, as quietly as possible, I don't know how quiet I could be about this, cast the armor of Agathis.
Agathi. Nice.
Well, it's a
Alright,
verbal
so
spell, right?
As I see one turning into very calmly and quietly turning into a tiger, apparently.
Yeah, I'm just like, I roll over, wake up, like open my eyes, see you, like go shh, and turn into a tiger.
And I see someone else kind of suddenly getting frostbitten.
Yeah. My rapier's out, and so's the dagger.
Yeah, I will just fucking light up a torch and bind it. So what I will do is I will actually bind the end of the torch onto my halberd,
Right.
and then light it up.
Nice.
Dude.
Okay.
It's like bayonet.
As Mutaru's voice echoes out over the trees, incanting his spell, and your light illuminates this 20-foot radius, these long spears just sail out of the darkness from all directions directly towards the group. Gladder shouts, "Take cover!" Of course, you're in a clearing and there is very little cover, but it had to be said. So, can I have initiatives from everybody, please?
Oh yes.
How long has it been
okay,
actually in combat?
So, okay,
Sorry,
I
go
rolled two natural 20s.
2 natural 20s.
Yeah. So
what
even
roll?
if I have disadvantage, I have a 21.
11.
Oh, is it a disadvantage?
No. I always roll 2 dice, so it's
just in
if I
case.
know if it. It's
Mutaru?
just like
13.
Graham?
7.
Roll 3.
All right.
Ooh.
Wow. Okay. The first one to act is Blackston.
Yes, I thought so. So the flame is already up.
Yes.
All right. Okay. Yeah. I see them. Like 25
yes,
light,
you-
and then
you-
20 further, like low.
Correct. You can see in front of you there are 3 of them in your area of sort of vision, and 2 of them have just thrown these spears, which are now sailing in a graceful arc directly towards you guys.
Okay. And how far away are they from me?
The centaurs are about 35 foot.
Away.
Mm.
That's good. I will charge at them. Charge.
Ah!
So like
All right.
this, the torch just makes this almost calling sound as the flame almost kind of gets out, right? It
Right,
kind of
it
tries to
gutters
fight
in yes.
the gush of the wind, and I will try to stab one of them.
Make your attack.
So running at them and trying to stab because
Sure.
they attacked us, fuckers.
You can see as you're running towards them, they have the lower half of a horse and the upper half of a human. They are dressed in, it looks like bone armor. Bones of various animals have been
Yeah.
used to create their...
I almost feel the necessity here now to share my screen because I think I got another natural 20. And even the other one, even the other roll was
Nice.
16.
So 3 20s, what a pity they weren't in succession rather than...
Well, they were technically.
well,
but
yes. All right, so your natural 20, we were using my critical system, that's right, yes?
Yes.
Yes, that's right.
So
For
you
those
want
of you
me
who
to
don't remember,
see
he now
what
rolls
happens?
another d20, and we
It's a
determine
10.
double damage is dealt by your attack.
All right, so I charge at them and scream with fury as they have been attacking people who are just peacefully trying to get a nap or sleep. And I
Right.
say like, "Be gone, monsters!" And I can trying to skewer this thing. I will also use a smite on him.
Right.
So this will be double damage on the smite too, because that's how this shit works. So this will be from the halberd itself, 13 damage,
Right.
and the smite is a total of another 26.
Yeah. Don't screw with Paladin.
No. All right.
So that's my first attack. My second attack.
Your first attack, as you swing at him, as you said, your first attack lands a heavy blow on his forward flank, shank, and cuts in deeply, causing this warm, hot blood to spray out and splatter onto the floor. His whole body quivers and that leg just loses mobility completely. He drops to his front knee directly in front of you. He is still alive, however. What are you doing?
I pull out the halberd, bring it around, feint with the other end of it, and just like try to kind of just hit him on the shoulder blades where the horse is part. I don't know how this works with like 2 pairs of everything. So basically, as he kind of goes down, he goes down a little bit further and just like into the side, basically where the hip would be from the human, where it's connected to the horse itself, and trying to hit him there for 21 against AC.
That's a hit. Their bone armor doesn't provide that much protection.
No horse or human should be together. I shall correct this.
And this is another 8 points.
All right, that finishes him off completely. You slice deeply into his side, pulling out the blade. He just collapses in this heap of sliced up horse meat and dead
So just a question for the situation. I assume since they're horses, they're not necessarily like in file and rank, right? So they're a little bit spaced out.
They are spaced out, yes. They're about 6 foot between each of them, correct.
All right,
correct.
and then I could just like wheel around the weapon and kind of point it at the next one, kind of moving on.
Nice. Then it is your guide's turn. He takes one look at these figures. He shouts, 5 gold. Not worth it. And
10 gold.
he brings his arms together. Yeah.
Oh, as a free action, can I tell him to stay near me?
You can shout that. Stay near me. Look at that. He brings his hands together, and as he pulls them apart, he suddenly turns into a bird and just goes up into the sky.
Oh. Well, that's a thing.
You son of a bitch.
All right, so he does
You paid him
that.
already, right?
Yeah.
I did.
Mutaru?
Well, at least I don't need to do that anymore. I find, like, okay, so I'm trying to take a 5-foot step so that I am away from everyone else,
Sure.
but in charging range for a bunch of them if possible.
Yep, that's not a problem. Looking around, you can see that they've completely encircled the camp. And
Okay.
so you can take a 5-foot step and step towards 3 of them. They've kind of divided the circle into clusters of 3.
Okay, so I'm going to use the following abilities. So
Right.
I'm going to ready an action to make an attack using my green flame blade.
Right.
And as he does so, he sort of flicks his naginata in the air, slams it down next to him, and cries out, "Stance of the Jade Regent Citadel." And I'm ready to basically attack what I perceive to be the last of them to charge at us.
Gotcha.
So I won't go for the first one. I won't go for the second one. If the third one comes in, that's when I'll start attacking.
That's when you're going. All right. Makes sense. Certainly makes sense. That brings us to Con.
I pick a centaur at least 20 feet away from me,
Right.
and I pounce, hopefully. The tiger just goes from a seated position to charging forward in one blink of an eye,
right.
roaring as I go, giving the full intimidation roar.
Right.
And that is a 17 on the claw attack.
All right. The 17 on the claw attack, you rake your claws over the torso of the centaur, but the bone armor is it's so convoluted and woven together that you don't find flesh underneath your paw.
So that's not a hit.
No.
Okay, the rest doesn't matter then.
Oh. It does matter, however. No, apparently it doesn't. The centaur that you charged at for a moment looked shocked that there was this tiger attacking, but when you failed to connect, he grinned and continued to use his spear. It is now their spear attack, so Blackson, you've got 2 on you.
So when the first one runs at me, I was prepared for that, and I try to, as he run him into the halberd itself. So I'll get an attack here.
Well, they're throwing spears first.
Oh, spears, sorry.
Yeah.
I misheard. All right.
The
Sorry.
first one misses you completely, sails off into the dark. They weren't anticipating you charging in forward. The second one misses completely. Graham, you've got 2 coming in for you.
Oh, grand.
Natural 1 and a 4. So the
Is he
spear
quite
just
flustered?
it disappears into the dark. Yeah, you seem to have thrown them. The second spear coming for you hits an armor class of 18.
Yep.
That's a hit. All right.
I'll be like, ha!
Oh, why? Grand total of 10 damage. Maximum damage from that spear.
Nice. Good throw.
It was, apparently.
Oh, I'm gunning for that one first.
All
I
right.
would say he put both of his backs into that one.
Yes. The one that you attacked, Con, he's got his spear at the ready. He stabs at you, as does his companion. The first one... What is it? And this dice, it keeps rolling 6s. It's just no good. I've got to get a better
It's the
dice.
dice of the devil, then, eh?
It is.
It's the luck of the druids.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. And
Look at the druids.
those 2 attacks miss. There's a third spear, which hits an armor class of 1921.
Yep, that'll do it.
Oh, yes.
All from the same guy.
No, this is from... There's 3 of them
different
that are in your area.
Yeah.
That's also maximum damage, so there's 10 damage there as well. From that one. And the last two on Mutaru. Now you did say that you were going to brace when they charge. They're not charging yet. They're just throwing spears. So they're not moving yet, so they won't trigger that.
Yep.
So the first one hits an armor class of 16.
16 will hit.
Okay. All right.
I will take. Yep, and I'll take a reaction.
All right.
As he hits me, green fire licks out of the wounds as I use Hellish Rebuke.
Right.
It lashes out and burns the one that threw his blade at me. Or threw the spear at me.
He deals 9 damage to you. How much do you deal back to him?
Okay, well I take 4 damage because of my Armor of Agathis.
Right.
Oh, that's right.
I then deal...
Well,
ooh.
5 from the Armor of
that
Agathis,
is
right?
18 points of
on melee
damage.
attacks.
Okay. Oh, that's right.
And he gets to make a dex save to half that.
His dex saving throw is 16.
The DC he required was
Probably 14.
8 plus 2.
Yeah.
14 or 15.
Yeah,
Depends.
14. 14 was the
His
so he
dex
halves
still
it to 9. He takes 9 points of fire
Alright.
damage.
And the last spear hits an armor class of 14.
Does not hit.
Does not hit. All right, they have thrown their spears. Next round, they look like they're going to do something else. Grihim.
Pissing me off. I'm going to go straight for the one that actually hit me.
Right. You! I am coming for you!
I'm going to gut you! And going in, I like to... No, never mind. I'm just going to try and open up his guts. So I'll go into the attack with the rapier. And
Slash.
I don't know if that's going to hit. Let's see. That's a 13.
You stab at him, but his legs are causing this confusing tangle of body, so no, you fail to connect.
Damn it. All right. Bonus action. I like to hide.
In plain sight of everybody.
Are there like no trees and stuff around us?
There is some trees, sure, but you have 3 opponents looking at you at the moment.
I was wondering, it's not possible to take like cover behind a tree and hide.
You can take cover, but they'll
They
know
would
when
know
you've gone.
there's one tree, right? I mean, just like...
One tree every 50 feet. Exactly.
So, all right. Well, then, if there's no way to hide, then let's see. That's an action, isn't it? Yeah. All right. Then in that case, I'm just gonna do an offhand attack with the dagger again. Try to get him. That should hit. So it's 17 plus 6.
That's a hit.
23.
Now this is no damage modifier, but I got sneak attack in this one.
Do you? There's no one else from us with him.
Yeah.
right?
No, because swashbuckler. You could just
cool.
get the
yeah,
sneak
nice.
attack.
Nice. Very good.
And let's
Then
see.
yes.
A D4. Oh wow.
So I got 4, and then it is 2d6, which is 5, and a 6. Wow, so I got 15.
Nice.
Good
All
one.
right, you slash into his leg, causing it to shiver from pain as it takes the damage. Blackston, back to you.
All right, so the 2 people, they didn't move? The centers that were still in front of
No,
you? They
their action was to throw spears this round. Yeah, they've got something special planned.
should have run. Should have run. You child of a pony. So first hit.
There's
18,
no friendship here.
18 is a hit.
7 points.
All right.
Next step for 16.
16 is a miss.
All right, then I'll try to hit him with the back of the heft of the weapon, or it's the
haft,
the
yeah.
blunt end. Yeah, that's a 16 again. Sorry, 16, not 15.
Yeah, it bashes against that bone armor and just doesn't
Damn
seem
it.
to penetrate through. They're quite tough that way.
All right, so knocking up, a little bit confused. Continue. Come at me, you piece of salami.
Oh wow! All right, that's fine.
You should deliver your body to a mobster.
The head doesn't work, right?
Nah.
Wow. Okay.
Just a leg.
There is a loud sound that comes from above you. Okay. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me just see here. 4. That's next to Blackston. Blackston, you're like, come at me. And the one centaur rears up on his back legs, ready to charge. And then suddenly this bear drops out of the darkness on top of him. And just starts mauling him, going mad. Just there's shrieking, there's panic, there's absolute terror. There's a natural 20.
Whoa.
Followed by 12, so triple damage.
Let's just drop there.
Mysterious character.
Yep.
That is indeed a
Crikey.
very dwarvish-looking drop bear. Yes, so you're one of your two is mauled by this bear. You can see, however, that the bear, although it dropped on him, he was holding his the bone armor has penetrated the bear as well. So the bear is taking quite a lot of damage too. But there is definitely a broken centaur lying underneath it.
Right, 5 more.
Not moving. Mutaru.
Mutaru carefully paces himself towards the two that he's looking at.
Right.
And as he's walking, he changes his stance slightly, giving a flourish of his naginata and changing hands before stomping it on the ground and casting Mirror Image to say, "Armies of the Jade Regent." There are now 4 Mutarus.
Oh my god. Can you imagine?
This
I don't want
episode,
to.
this episode should be called Horses and Cows.
All right. Did they get a saving throw versus that illusion?
No, it just
no.
splits up the attacks.
Yep.
All right. That's fine. They will do that. So the 4 of you sort of step out and take up position.
Yep.
Con?
Angry and staying mobile, I pick another target to pounce on.
There's one right
Same
next
as
to you.
before.
All right.
Well, no, I need a run up.
Ah. Okay, your
will
challenge
provoke,
is
right? So-
yeah, you're going to provoke an attack from one of them if you leave that area, because they're not dead. What are you doing?
So there's 3. Whoops, there's 3 of them.
Yeah.
All right. Well, in that case, I try and bite the nearest one.
Make your attack.
The one that stabbed me,
Right.
probably. Aha! That is 22.
That's a hit. You sink your teeth into horse flesh.
Nice.
8.
8 points of damage. Wow. Okay.
Give him the claw.
Are you
Do you have
making a
multiple
single
attacks?
No multi-attack, sadly.
Ah, all right. Well, you've bitten into its flesh. It rears up. It shouts something at you in this very guttural language. You're not entirely sure what it said to you, but it doesn't sound very good.
I roar at it.
What, dude?
Come on.
Full fang roar.
Blackston, the one
Its
that
own blood dripping from my jaws.
the last one of the 3 that was in your group. Now, his companion's been taken out by a bear. There's you saying, "Come at me," and you can see his face, his human face. It is human, but there's a doubleness to the mouth. The nose is a little bit flatter. There's definitely fur on the face. The ears are longer, almost doe-like. It's definitely not human by any stretch of the imagination. But even though it has these features, you can still get a sense that it just now has to kill you. This is
Wrong
anger.
decision.
So it charges at you.
So
And,
this will give me an attack of opportunity.
yes, it will indeed. It's charging at you. As it does so, it pulls from its back these two curved-looking clubs. They're natural, not sort of wood, but they've got spikes of some kind of black stone sticking out of the tips of them, so they look like they could be rather nasty if they hit. He swings at you once, misses completely, swings at you again as he rides past. He kind of backhands you, completely misses. And
All right, so I missed my attack
canters
too. So
past.
so what happens here is, instead of just going for the attack to see, I see these fairly big and dangerous looking weapons, and I decide to just parry one and then duck under the hit of the other one away.
Right,
Just
there you
barely
go,
grazing.
lovely. Yes, beautiful. Mutari, you've still got 3 of them. They are now charging you. All 4 of you. As the 2 in the front are approaching, one of them throws what looks to be a stone with a piece of rope attached to it to his companion. And as they're building up speed, getting closer and closer, they shake this rope and it opens out into a full net, which they obviously are fully intending to use to enwrap one of the 4 of you.
Oh God.
So I randomly roll for who they hit. Is that how?
Each
Yeah,
time
it's a
creature
one. It's
targets you with an
basically
attack-
there are four Mutaros right now, right?
Oh.
And you have a
Yeah,
1
no,
in 4
I-
chance that anybody that he is hit, and a 3 in 4 chance that one of the illusions is hit. If an illusion is hit,
Yeah.
it disappears. Then it's a 1 in 3, 1 in 2, then on
Gotcha.
and
Yeah,
on.
but basically here it says in the spell that if I have 3 duplicates, I roll a d20, and if I get a 6 or higher, then it targets one of the duplicates.
Yeah, it's
you.
easier to
Roll
roll
a
a
d20.
d4, but
That's what I thought
Okay.
too. But well, it says D20.
15, so yep, it's
All right.
one of the duplicates.
One of the duplicates vanishes as the net wraps around it.
Still needs to hit it though. It's got a 10 on its AC. I mean, if it needs to hit.
Make me waste a 19. It hits it completely. All right, the third one is the third one you now roll again on your d20, and I suppose now it's what, 1 and 8 above 8.
That's correct. And I rolled an 18.
Okay, so the second one gets hit with a 15 and vanishes, so you're down to 2 now. Okay. Right. Graham, you are not alone. You have some very
friends.
angry centaurs who wish to dispatch you.
Friendly
They
horse.
too are going to unfurl a net and make an attack against you.
Come
Wow. All right. Would you please give me a dexterity saving throw? They unfurl this net, and they've obviously done this before. They do a circular kind of motion and just scoop you up if you don't.
on. Not this time. Let's see. Dexterity. That's gonna be a 19.
19. As the net comes towards you, you leap up, stepping on the edge of the net and leap onto the other side of it, causing them to have to swing around and come back to you.
good one.
Con, the kitty cat, is being attacked by 2 very, very, very angry centaurs. They're not happy.
They should be more careful. Have you never dealt with an angry cat? It's just pain.
Not this size.
Yeah.
So that's an armor class of 16 that it hits.
Yeah. That's a hit.
Fur not so thick after all, eh?
Yeah, and an armor class of 15.
Yep, that's also a hit.
Okie dokie. Those they've also pulled out these wooden clubs that they are brandishing.
Oh gosh.
With these metal spikes or black tipped spikes. The first one smacks into the side of your skull, dealing 4 points of damage.
Fucking pardon me.
The second one, ouch. The second one, as it's riding past you, it just strikes down and it catches you in the middle spine. It deals a massive 12 damage.
Looking rough over there.
God!
Yeah, that hurts. That really hurts.
Tiger.
Yeah,
form.
you guys are just hearing behind you this hissing, mewling, roaring sound of a very
I'm sure it's
big
fine.
cat, wishing that it had a box to go into, perhaps. Graham.
Okay. I'm going to look at the one that I did not stab.
Right.
And I'm casting Charm Person as I shout, "Help me, and I will spare your life."
Interesting. It gets a saving throw, right?
Yep.
It's wisdom.
Wisdom saving throw. I rolled a natural 17.
God. Okay. No. So it's.
Help me!
Yeah.
Together we can rule the universe!
Okay. So I can see that it doesn't work. I'm like, no. It's stab with my offhand attack.
Make your offhand attack.
No. Then fine. All right. That's 20 total. Not
That's a
natural.
hit. Do damage.
I love it. Just help me. I fucking. Let's see. 3 on the damage die from. Let's see, from the dagger. Then here's the sneak attack, which is a 2 and a 3. So 8. Oh,
8
you
damage
do?
in total. All right. Okay. All right. That brings us back to Blackston.
All right. So there's so the druid didn't do anything. You just sit there peeling the bones out of his ass.
Yeah, he's recovering. Yep.
Okay. How far did he? You said he kind of rode past me. So how far did he? run?
10 feet. Not
All right.
far.
So as he's kind of trying to move around, I assume I'm a little bit more quick on my feet, like more agile. I'm just trying to hit at his back heels and kind of the Achilles tendon, kind of cut it off the hind legs of his.
Right. Make your attack.
Run the
Ouch.
blade on the halberd across them.
Oof.
Okay, 17 to hit.
17 to hit. You swing out wildly, but his hooves are moving too quickly. You strike the actual hoof part, not the Achilles tendon.
All right. Okay, so I'll do that, and as he kind of tries to move around, I'll tumble through his legs and just push the staff of the blade in between them, and just like try to use the leverage to just like get the legs apart and make him just lose his footing. So that's
Right.
the off attack that I have for 19.
19, that certainly hits.
Because the other attack missed too,
Yeah.
and that will deal 7 bludgeoning damage as I try to basically break his ankle. I mean, horses don't really have ankles in that case, but yeah.
Sure. That's a very sensitive part on the horse. So absolutely, you cause him to shout out in pain. Maybe fix his resolve even more. The druid in his bear form stands up. You can see that he's actually very badly injured. He looks at the battle that you're engaged with. He looks over at Con being beaten by the centaurs. He roars as only a bear can and starts lumbering forward towards the centaurs. At this point, the centaurs all react. They see this bear charging forward. They see Blackston busy doing his thing. Graham is stabbing and cutting. There's multiple Mutarus. They all start to break, so everybody gets an attack of opportunity against one of their choice. So I'm just going to carry on an initiative order for that. So Mutaru, do you want to do your attack?
I
Of opportunity?
do. I'm going to Mutaru and his clone are going to engage in a very delicate dance where they're both spinning the tops of the blades, and as they pirouette around, they both swing in like a cross shape, so that the blades just cut around the either the chest or the midsection. And I'm also going to attach Booming Blade to this as well.
Yeah.
All right, and that is a natural 20.
Okay, roll it again.
Now, do I need to confirm this? I always forget this one.
No, just roll it again. Don't add anything.
Oh, okay. That is a 18 on the dice.
All right, quadruple damage.
A? Okay. Oh, that's right. You got the... Yeah, I've totally forgotten about that. Okay. So quadruple damage, eh? So that is 4d10.
No. So you don't roll multiple dice. You just roll a die and you times it by 4.
Oh, okay. I'm with you.
Oh, okay, then I made a mistake right there, but...
Wow.
9 plus 4 is 13. 13 times 4 is 52.
52. Yep. You decapitate that horse. Well, you truncate him. You sever the human from the horse as it collapses into a bloody mess in front of you. There's a disastrous
I sort of
sound.
I eyeball the other two that basically charged at the clones as well.
Right, they are now all leaving as fast as humanly possible. Graham?
I rolled to hit and I got 16.
16, you strike at the fleeing flank of the creature, but don't find any purchase for your blade. Con?
The one that just nailed me in the back.
Right.
As it's, carrying on past me, I go directly for his hindquarters. I'm going to grab hold of his leg in my jaws. Bite attack to the leg.
Make your attack.
I'm angry. Oh, shit. 18.
18's a hit. Do your damage.
What? That's full max on the dice. It's plus 3, so 13.
13 points damage. Wow. Okay. You cut deep into it, and for a moment it looks like it's going to stumble, but then obviously adrenaline kicks in and it just keeps going. Blackston, you're the last to have an attack of opportunity here.
I will not take it.
You're not
I
taking
will
it?
instead, no. If
Okay.
he runs, he runs. I'm not vengeful. So I just shout after him. And tell your herd to not attack travelers of the Astari.
We'll turn you into glue.
All right. There is a silence that now returns quite quickly, except perhaps for the wincing low growl of a bear and a tiger, perhaps.
Hello, silence, my old friend.
Once I'm finished looking around and established that it's over, I transform back into my human form. Which fortunately looks none the worse for wear.
okay?
What's that, Michael?
Sorry, are you okay?
I'm fine.
You look I injured.
No, I can assure you, I'm quite alright.
You unsummon the you unsummon the illusions.
Well, that was a thing. That was fun. We should track them down and kill them at their tribe.
They're quite tough, those.
Whoa, that's really
centaurs.
cool. Can we do that?
Well, I mean, they're cannibals, right?
I'm kidding.
They
No, we
attack-
should leave them alone. We need to get sleep.
Oh, just a little murder. I'm joking. Okay.
We have much more serious matters to attend to.
Yep.
I believe it was Graham's watch. Good night.
I just you.
Gladyshanks appears from his druid, from his bear form, looking slightly bruised and cut. I'm afraid there's going to be no sleeping. That was a young buck herd. Youngsters trying to prove their worth. They've probably gone to go and lick their wounds, but they'll be back with friends. Mark my words.
Get the buck out of here.
So then what? So then, should we move on then? Find a new spot?
That would
They'll be able
wise.
to track us. This is their territory.
Well, if they track us, they're welcome to try to meet us again.
From what I can see, we've got two choices. Either we stand and make a fight of it, hopefully drive off their second attack, or we try and move as quickly as we can and clear the forest as soon as we can.
I
But
think we
then-
should risk traveling, honestly.
Oh, you know where I stand.
Yes, right there. Don't do that. We should move.
Ha ha ha.
Master Dwarf, do these beasts lay out traps?
That's the problem with moving quickly. Aye, they do.
I'd rather face them head on than run into a trap.
That could get us all potentially. Yes.
They will keep us. They will get us anyways. They are on horse after all.
If their
Nay.
behavior is predictable, then we should just stay here and prepare.
Should we take a rest then, I guess?
We've probably got about 20 minutes before they return.
Oh, well, then no rest for the wicked.
Great.
Well, perhaps
So-
there is something we could do to set up our own ambush.
That's exactly my thinking. So how many trees are around? You said like they are fairly like wide apart. So how many trees do we have around, and how big are the tree trunks?
Generally, it's the tree trunks are about 5-6 foot in width quite easily. These are colossal trees.
So
There
meter.
is
It's like
correct. There are debris. Obviously, there's branches that have fallen that one can access. But generally speaking, the trees are about 50 foot apart.
Wait, are they master of the bows? Of bow and
They had
arrows?
spears before.
Aye, they usually favour spears over bows.
Then could we climb a tree? Keep in hiding up at the top?
And I just look at me, just with all my heavy armor and equipment.
And then the
Look at
druid
Mutaru.
looks at Mutaru.
Hey, don't compare me to that. I can climb that tree in a second.
And I'm climb a tree. Because we might be able to just hide instead of having to fight or travel quickly.
The problem is, once you're up the tree, what are you planning on eating? If they know that we're up the tree, and trust me, they're very good
We are in a
trackers.
hurry anyways.
They'll pretty much know that we're up the tree.
Okay, this might not be appropriate, but technically speaking, if we eat only that half,
No.
cannibal, not cannibal, I mean,
No.
it's still technically a
I can
horse.
assure you as your doctor, Mataru, that you're in no danger of starving to death today, tomorrow,
think
the
it's
day
just-
after
But we
that.
are on the clock here.
Okay.
So they threw a few spears at us, and
That's
you
right.
said that there are other branches lying around.
That's right,
Can we
yes.
fashion to some sort of, like, stick them in the ground somehow and make them just very uncomfortable for horses to ride through?
Sure.
Do we have any means to tie ropes or trip lines between trees?
Right. I mean, if they're 50 feet apart, it's hard, right? But, yeah.
That's it. Okay, so what I'm going to ask you to do, please, is we're going to go into a skill check here. Yes, Michael?
Oh, I was going to check to see which direction the tracks were heading. And then from that direction, what I want to do is the trees that are in that direction, generally speaking, I want to basically hack a little chunk out of it so that if I were to hack from the other side and apply pressure, it would fall towards where the tracks were leading off to. So if they were to come from where they've run from, we could potentially knock a couple of
You can
trees
start
over.
cutting on the tree, but it will take you several hours to
I
make
mean, the
it
tree is like
significant.
this.
Yeah.
in
They're
diameter.
width 3-4
circumference-wise?
foot. Yeah.
Okay.
But what we can do is the branches, if these are big trees, I assume the branches that kind of build the canopy are also fairly sturdy.
Yes, very
We
much
can maybe lift something up and then you can just cut the rope and let it drop on them.
so. Yes, you could do that. You could do that.
Everything's wet, isn't it?
Damp.
I was thinking we could honestly start a forest fire.
That would maybe not be advisable. All right, so we're going to go into a skill check here to basically entrap the area. So skill check requires one of the four of you to make a skill that I ask for. Depending on whether it's a success or failure, depends on how we move forward. Once you've made the check, you can't make another check until everybody else has done so as well. It's a kind of a round-robin type of thing. So the first skill that I need someone to make a check on, please, is Knowledge Nature. Nature check, please.
Con, is that more of your thing?
I guess that would be me.
Like I have a +3 modifier to it, but I'm not
No, that's
proficient
just
in
okay.
nature.
We don't need to metagame this. Let's just use this as a...
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, just threw my dice away.
Okay, that's fine.
20.
20, that's a success. All right, you need to have 4 successes before 3 failures. Now I need a survival check, please, from you as you all start sharpening stakes, pruning off of bits and pieces, making these little nasty daggers. So from Graham Blackstone or from Mutaru, please, a survival check.
This dirt's disgusting.
I thought you were a survivalist, a survivor.
I
What you always talking
survive.
about?
I survive where I know where to survive.
Uh-huh.
I don't
Think
know.
about it, it's basically making a tiny shanks.
Right,
Yeah,
so
and
who's
that's
going to
gonna
do
be
it?
early,
Nature
right?
guy.
All right, make the roll, Michael.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Just got volunteered.
16.
16. Okay,
good.
16 is a success. You've now
Oh,
got
thank
your
God.
spiked one quarter of the circle of stones has now got this horrid little ground cover of spikes. Anyone who's got hooves will have great difficulty moving through that. I now need a deception check, please.
Ooh, I can do that.
I thought so much.
Here we are. That will be 16 as well.
All right, that's a success. You camouflage another quarter of the circle. There's a particular rope that you have slung onto a branch and have suspended above the access area. Some rather nasty drop branches to use. Now I need, from Blackstone, please, a stealth check.
Oh yeah.
Damn it.
Now the question is, depending if this is a skill thing or not, do I have disadvantage from the armor or not?
No disadvantage from the armor. No.
Oh, oops.
No, it's fine. It's okay. I can do this. I'm sure. Nope.
All right.
5.
5. So the third quarter of the circle was going to be a pit trap, except someone may or not have interpreted pit as shallow ditch, which wouldn't stop anybody. So that brings us back to the top of the round. You've got 3 successes,
What
1
I
failure.
might be able to do is, can I fill the shallow ditch with like some leaves to make it seem like it's... So if you
Right.
step in it, you still would lose
You're
the step
still,
and maybe drop,
there we
maybe
go.
fall.
Absolutely, not a problem. Last check, possibly. I need a medicine check from somebody. This is now anybody, because you've all gone through it. Medicine check is to determine how best to break a horse's legs.
Oh,
With a
With
stick.
a lot of force.
As
Yeah.
a druid and a doctor, I guess that really does fall to me.
Right.
Yes.
18.
18. All right, that's a success. So it takes you a good 25 minutes, and the centaurs haven't attacked yet. But after 25 minutes, you've basically got a circle of disabling diversions.
Circle of death.
Yeah, they
Circle of mild inconvenience.
Yes, there we go. A circle of mild inconvenience. I like it. So your circle of mild inconvenience is ready, and almost on cue, as you are sitting back, going, "All right, I think we've got that area covered. We've got that area covered." You hear this loud trumpeting from in front of you. Then there's trumpeting from behind you. Then there's trumpeting from the left, trumpeting from the right, as these groups gather.
Just for clarification, we didn't get a short rest, right? Because the hour didn't pass.
Correct.
I feel as much.
just so you know, I switched to short bow at this point
Ah.
because they're gonna.
Yeah, and I put this. I hid the halberd at a place where I know I might find it, but I'm
Right.
at like longsword and shield at this point, readying up.
Okay. So there's trumpeting sounds around you, to the left, to the right.
Mutaru is going to ready an Eldritch Blast for when something comes within range.
Okay. You can only hold that for that round. But that's fine. Yeah. So you're just going to suspend that basically. Right. So there is this trumpeting, and then almost in a neat circle all the way around you, moving in a complete circle. You see this line of centaurs taking up. You count quite quickly. There's 16 of them.
We got this.
One of them lets out this shrill battle yodel, which is then picked up by the rest of them in this cacophony of yelling, shouting. It's very bravado-esque show of strength and might. Is anyone doing anything while they're busy, psyching themselves up?
Oh, can I roll an intimidation?
I will shout at them and say, "Cowards! Come and meet us man on man. Throw the four of the strongest of you against the four of us, and let's test the metal."
And we'll see you next week with the new party members as we all have new characters to roll.
Michael, you wanted to do something?
Yeah, I'll roll intimidate, but I'll use my my green eldritch fire to kind of basically create plumes of flame,
all right,
washed with my long hair, and try to basically look like, your typical kind of like superstitious forest witch kind of thing.
Got you.
And to help Blackston and Mutaro's intimidation, I fired an arrow right at their feet, being like,
one step further.
That is a glorious 25 on my intimidation.
All right. Well, with the combination of Blackston asking for 4 of their top champions and Mutaro's display and a well-placed arrow that no one else knew where it was supposed to go, the circle, their bellowing eventually dies down. And you can see there's some confusion going on now.
Well, apparently they expected us to quiver in fear.
That was what they were hoping for. 2 of them converse, and then one of them trots forward in a non-threatening kind of way.
still have it ready.
Are you going to fire?
No, I just have it at the ready. I'm just like staring.
Mutaru?
I want to so bad, but I don't want to be that guy. Why can't you be that guy, Graham? Fine, I'll hold.
Well, this should be interesting, I mutter to the others.
Blackston, you going to do anything?
This will probably be short.
Just wait for what he has to say.
All right. He comes forward. He's about 20 foot away. Your champions fight our champions.
And the winner?
Gets to live.
Victory determines freedom.
Very well. I accept, and I looked at the others.
Turn off my flames and I'll nod.
Why
Don't
not?
expect your friends to come back alive.
He circles slightly, his 4 hooves beating out an indecisiveness that belies his trepidation at accepting. Then he turns, he shouts something back which sounds almost like a zebra whinny mixed with a dog's bark. It's this very guttural sound. And riding forward are 3 other centaurs who join him. And the 4 of them stand there looking at the 4 of you. We fight.
Any
Great.
rules?
They seem to discuss it amongst themselves very briefly. They look back. No.
Good.
Yeah, immediately I go and charge at them.
Yeah.
Immediately.
Oh, how to set a cultural norm for the rest of their entire culture. Their species. Don't trust them.
I asked
They
them.
said no
Yeah,
rules.
he did. He did ask him. It was like, no, good.
All right.
I didn't say good. I just said okay.
5th edition doesn't have a surprise round, but this is a surprise round. They don't know
Well,
what
they
the
have
hell's going
surprise.
on.
Does have surprise rounds. but-
Yes. Yeah.
So do we get a surprise round on that?
Yes, they weren't expecting the immediate attack. They were hoping for more posturing and
No, we want to live. Cool.
We did that already. Been there, done that.
All right.
All right, so I charge in the middle of them,
right.
and so is this a pine forest needle or is this?
It's oak, ancient
okay.
oak trees.
Okay. So, and you say it's damp, so it's fairly slippery on the ground, right? So I'll just charge at them as quickly as I can, which obviously at the beginning might be a little bit hard. But if they're 20 feet away from me, I'll just then slide and try to slide between their legs and
nice.
just use my longsword to just like in an angle bring it up and just like try to gut one of them.
Nice. Yes, Michael.
Aren't we surrounded by spikes?
Yes, spikes, traps, all sorts of wonderful bits and pieces.
Oh yeah, how did they get close to us? I guess they just moved out of the way.
Well, that's why they're 20 feet away.
I mean, I was more interested in how Blackston's slide went.
Well, we'll see. All right.
Just 3/4 of it are finished anyways, right?
All right, Graham.
I just letting you know, like I rolled the attack, got an 18.
Yeah.
And then
Okay.
I, +6 and all that, and then I rolled
Right.
my total damage was 16.
Nice. All right, so you did 16 in total. Okay. Let me see. Blackston's sailing forward. All right, make your attack, Blackston, and then I need you to make me a dexterity saving throw, if you please.
All right. Dex save is failed with a 6.
All right. Keep going. Make your attack.
All right. The attack is a 19.
That's a hit. Do your damage.
With the longsword, it's 10 points.
10 points of damage. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nasty.
Nasty longswords.
Yeah, it cuts and slices.
then-
And all things dices.
It's another hit for another 5.
Oh my
I'll just
God.
add it together. It's just one slice along the belly of this beast.
Right. Poor creature. Okay, and as you're sliding forward, you do unfortunately take damage as well. You take 4 points of damage as you
Alright.
bounce over the rocky, trap-filled terrain.
Absolutely.
Utaru, what are you doing? You had your flame
Mutaru
ready, right?
is using his Eldritch Blast with
Make your
both
attack.
the antagonizing and grasp of Hadar. That is a 23 to hit,
That's a hit.
which does a total of 12 points of damage. And the creature... Oh, well, sorry. Not the one that Blackston attacked, but a different one. I get to pull him 10 foot closer to me with a long serpent-like Eldritch Blast that sort of grabs hold of him and pulls
Does that
him
work
back
for
towards me.
four-legged creatures?
It doesn't actually have any...
This is a humanoid. Just says opponent.
Yeah, it literally just says opponent. Let me just check that again.
Does it
Just-
say
I
humanoid?
would
Because
think
centaurs
something
aren't-
like medium,
Anyway,
like
it
his
doesn't
size.
matter. You drag him 10 foot closer. It doesn't make much difference to me on my life.
Like, are centaurs,
Con,
like,
are you doing
large?
anything? Yeah, they are large. Yeah.
I mean, they're horses, right?
About to say, then maybe half this. Well, whatever you want to do. Yeah.
Con, are you doing anything?
So I have one to deal with this time.
Yes.
I was just doing a quick rules check. I can't find anything. How does Wild Shape work with swarms?
With what?
Swarms.
You cannot. You just need one thing.
One thing
You
only.
turn
Then
into a swarm of one rat. Oh, shit.
He has a
Such a
swarm of
shame.
fleas on his back.
So bears, wolves.
Yeah.
Singular entities. Then the
Yes.
brown bear stands where Con was moments before as he launches himself at his
God, alright.
target.
Nice.
Oh, bother.
All right, make your attack.
This time with multi-attack.
Oh yeah.
First with the
Claw,
bite.
claw, bite.
Ooh, the bite is 20.
That's a hit.
Oh, God. Go Bears. Certainly is.
That's 8.
Right.
Followed up with claws for 19.
That's a hit.
Yay! Claws, rah, bellowing roar. And that is plus 4, 8, and 14.
Right. 14 is 14 damage in total.
Yes. Oh no, so what was my first lot of
8.
damage was 8, so that's going to
22.
be 22 damage.
Lovely, yeah. Now everyone can roll initiative, please.
With the grasp of Hadar, can you imagine like you see
15.
Leviathan 10 feet closer?
I mean, that's.
Yeah,
I
I
think.
don't want it 10 foot close.
I think Grasp of Hadar is UA, right?
18.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, the rules are not finished there, anyways.
That's okay.
All
That's
right,
always
Con, you got
14.
15.
Nope.
Blackston, you got 15 as well.
Yes.
Mutaru
14.
and Graham.
24. Roll the natural 20.
All right, you're acting first. What are you doing?
All right. How far away are all of those centaurs?
Pretty much all of them are 20 foot away from you now.
Okay. And at the moment,
I'm in
they're...
between them.
Yeah, I was
Yes.
about to say. All right. So if they're in between me, 'cause I believe this has a it has range 6 feet. I'm actually going to the one in front of Black's. I'm going to cast a vicious mockery on it, and just say we will not only turn you into glue, but we will feed your souls to the devil. Say whatever. They have to make a saving throw.
Yeah. Saving throw of 4.
Haha, not against my 13. So I'm going to do a d4, and then it has disadvantage on the next attack roll it makes.
Yeah.
Nice. 2.
Ah!
Haha, 2.
We're coming to the bard kinds of damage.
Yeah. Jeez.
All right.
And then I'm going to back up like another 20 feet.
All right.
No.
I mock you from a distance.
I do.
From
That's
far away.
24. All right. My centaurs now get to attack finally. And they draw out these maces as before.
Don't get me.
You realize these maces, they're slightly different from the normal crowd. They've got bands of, it looks like red paint around the shaft. One of them has got 5 bands, one of them's got 3 bands, the rest have got 4.
Okay.
And yes, so that's what it makes them slightly different. So I'm just going to start. I was going to start with Freddy, but now we'll start with Mutaru, the one that you pulled closer. Swings
So they're running away
at
from
you.
me.
He pulled one closer to him.
Yes.
The one that I pulled closer, did the spikes affect him at all?
No, he passed his dex saving throw. So his hooves were moving as you.
He
pulled
jumped
out
over
closer.
it.
Yeah.
Bastard.
All right, so he swings his club at you, Mutaru, and gets a 19 as a base
That'll do
hit. That should do it, yes. And the club smacks you for... Oh, God.
1,000 damage.
Well, it's not 1,000, but it is 12 damage.
Sounds much more reasonable.
12 damage, and I need you to make a Constitution saving throw, if you please, sir.
Oh boy.
Okie dokie. Yeah. 14 plus 3 is...
17.
Maths. 17, yeah, that's the one.
All right, so you're fine. Okay, so that was a swing for you. Blackston, you've got 2 on you, unfortunately.
And one of them has disadvantage.
Yes, that's right. The first one with disadvantage misses wildly, probably because he's trying to keep his entrails inside of himself. The other... Oh, come on. Hits an armor class of 14. I'm assuming that's no good. Okay. And then the last one is Con's little traveling companion. And he strikes at the big brown bear, screaming rage at the top of his lungs, and completely misses. How he misses a giant bear, I don't know. The club thuds against your heavy fur, but doesn't find anything to connect with.
Bat him aside.
Okay.
I'm roaring
then-
so loud I can't hear him screaming.
Yeah. Right, Blackston, your attack.
Instead of attack, I just... My eyes light up, and my cape kind of bellows, and underneath, like a shine, which looks like maybe like a halo from the people that behind me. Maybe it looks a little bit like wings sprout. I cast a spell, and I just look at them and say, like, I hope you're good as champions of your people. Show your mettle.
Wow, okay. What did you cast?
I cast, what is it called?
Cape of
Shield of
Blue.
Faith.
Shield of Faith. Nice. Okay. Con.
Well, I'm on my hind legs, trying to separate the top half of the centaur from the bottom half.
Right.
So I lay into it some more, roaring all the while. Bite for, I guess, not going to work. That's 11. It's claws, 17.
You rip into this thing, you try and shred it, but all you're getting is fistfuls of bone armor that shatter and break underneath your attacks, but you don't manage to draw blood.
This bear explodes his armor for him, and bits of armor flying everywhere.
I can barely take it.
Oh dear. Mutaru.
Mutaru steps backwards and as a bonus action takes a big breath using his second wind.
Good choice.
And heals 9 points of damage.
Right.
He then takes a nice big bold swing with his Naginata
Right.
while using the green flame blade incantation, swinging and spiraling over his head to kind of create that serpent kind of flame in the air, and swinging down with both hands hard on the shoulder of the centaur. For 16 plus 6, 22.
That's a hit. Do your damage.
That is 14 points of damage. And the green flame.
Can't jump to
I
anything
think
else,
in-
right? It needs to be in 5 feet.
Yeah, within 5 foot. If anything's within 5 foot, it would jump to them. But I don't
No.
know how far the others are.
No, the
from it.
others are 10, 20 feet away, at least. Yeah.
Okay. Yep.
All right,
Hey,
you
dude.
slice.
If you give me that blade, that will work.
Yeah, there you go.
It hits Blackston.
Thank you.
Kind of catch it and attack.
Fire catching is hard. Like,
He can catch fire. I mean, that's a thing, but
Catch on fire. Graham, the ball is in
right.
your court.
Taking the short bow. A lot of goodies today. I'm gonna attack the same one that I viciously mocked, and be like,
that's so stupid. I hate this attack so much.
here we go.
I hate it so much.
Here comes an arrow to the knee.
All right.
Wait. Well, he has 4 of those.
I deserve
Yes.
that. 17.
17, your arrow flies, almost true, but he steps aside as he's trying to move around this indestructible paladin, and no damage is resulting from that. That
Okay.
leads us to them.
What? Oh wait, hang on. I wanted to
Yeah.
move real fast. All right. Let's see. So then I'm 40 feet away. This time I'll move. Yeah. Another 20 feet, so I'll be 60 feet. I'm gonna stay right there.
Are you still in the circle we created then?
No,
Yeah,
a lot of
like
this-
I'll
you'll have
then I'll
moved
stay
out
to
of
the
it
very edge
on
of the
other side.
circle. Be like, all right.
Okay. So nice. That's good. That's still. Then you have basically like another barrier can bring between you and them.
Okay, so Blackston, 2 attacks on you. The first one swings his club and hits an armor class of 10, which is no good. The second one swings and gets a natural 20.
I feel it hits.
I think that hits. I hope
Can't
it
do
doesn't
much about that
hurt.
one.
Natural 20 and a 15. Triple damage. This could be quite painful. It is triple 3, so a whole 9 plus the modifier. So you taking 13 points of damage. Very lucky there. And then would you please give me a Constitution saving throw?
I failed. 7.
7? All right.
So is this an effect of him? From me being hit from him?
Yes, it's a poison effect. There's a burning sensation as your muscles start to seize up, but you don't seem to have much effect at the moment. So that was the second attack on you. On
I do make my
Mutaru.
concentration save though, so the spell is still up.
Okay, not a problem. Mutaru, he swings at you. 18 plus, so that's a hit, yeah?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Glad for that second win now. 9 points of damage. And a Constitution saving throw, if you please.
Sure, that's good. 19 on the dice. Plus
19. All right. Con. There's one that can attack you, and he does not like being mauled by a bear. He swings and hits an armor class of 17.
He gets me.
That's a hit. Grand total of 8 points of damage and a Constitution check, if you please.
No, I'm not. Pity. Okay, never mind. So that is 11.
11. All right. There's a burning sensation as you can clearly this weapon has been tainted by something. For ready, Graham. I just need to do 1 and 2. Yes. You hear the sounds of hooves behind you. The rope trap triggers but doesn't connect. And leaping up and sweeping down from around you on either side.
That's so cheating.
No rules.
That's so cheating. No rules. Yes.
Absolutely.
All right. You need to give me a dexterity saving throw, please, but you have disadvantage because they're coming at you from behind.
All right. Let's see. Okay, not bad. And that's okay. So that's gonna be. It's not gonna be good. Yeah, it's 11.
As they land on either side of you, you're like, but wait, we had traps. This net just wraps around you and entangles you, and before you know it, you've been scooped up off the ground in this net, which just
that
holds you tight.
Pisses me off.
Bye, Graham.
This is stupid. You're
This is very stupid. I'm not edible. I'm a vegetarian. All right, so that brings us to
Veggie patties.
All
Blackston.
right. So one of the two people, or centaurs that are fighting me, is the chieftain?
Well, he looks to be bigger than the rest, and he's got
The
5
person who
notches.
spoke to us. Let's put it like this.
Yes.
Right. And this is a metagame question. You told me that it is poison. Would I also know I'm poisoned?
Yes, you can feel that a normal hit hurts, but this hit hurt and then stung and burned like stinging nettles. So that speaks to some kind of
I just
infection.
glower at him and heal myself from the poison because fuck that. I don't like to be poisoned. That sucks. So technically, I use my lay on hands for 5 hit points, and I can heal a poison effect.
There you go. That was a good call. All right.
So yeah, and with that, I just glower at him because I can't do much more, and I'll try to basically dodge and weave between their attacks and say, "You can't hit an open shit." As he just crit me, but I mean,
Con.
So I continue to press my attack. Now what I'm doing is I'm not just sort of standing there and bite slash. I'm throwing the full bear's weight onto this guy. I want to try and overpower him, bear him down onto the ground whilst making
Okay.
bites and slashes. So I'm not, I'm full attack right on it, all
Nice.
my weight,
Got you.
bearing
Got you.
down.
Make your attack.
Aha! That is a bite of 20.
That's a hit.
And claws of... No, that's not. So just the bite then. Oh, gotta stop throwing dice off the... it's 10. 10 damage from the bite.
Right. Give me a strength check, please.
23.
Nice.
Well, as you bit into him and you're trying to pull him down and drag him to his knees, you bite and hold, and you get him to drop to his elbows effectively. He can't hold you up physically that much, but his back legs are still straight, and he hasn't been pulled off of balance, so he still has the capacity to fight back. But he's down onto his knees and he's not going anywhere. Mutaru.
Mutaru sees the one standing next to him, still injuring him, of course.
Yeah.
And takes his blade, and as he does, he sort of puts it down in front of him and sort of thrusts forward, just basically almost in line with him. And lurching forward, he yells out, "Commandment of the Citrine King!" Raising his blade up, he uses Boom Blade to try and slash in an upward direction across his midsection.
Great.
Through the bones, hopefully.
Through the bones. So 17, 23 to hit.
Yeah, it's a hit. Do damage.
Okay, that is 12 points of damage.
12 points of damage.
Now
it
they don't
is.
have. Now they don't have reach with their weapon, do they?
With the clubs? No, not with
yeah,
the clubs.
yeah. So I'll take a 5-foot step or guarded step backwards.
All right, so that they will provoke if they move into to your area. Okay, good.
Oh no, sorry, I don't have the feat, so they won't provoke from me.
All right.
But Bloom Blade will activate and they'll explode.
Yeah, but you also provoke if you step back, right?
Yeah.
Right. So you're going to step back?
Yeah, otherwise he's not going to move.
Yeah.
All right, he misses. Okay,
Good,
Graham, you are wrapped up in this net and you are being taken away at pace from your companions.
Oh my god. Can I
Well, that
use
solves that problem.
can I use Jagger's dagger to like cut myself out of the ropes?
Jagger's dagger.
That's well, look, I know it's weird, but that was my master's dagger. All right, his name was Jagger. Don't make fun of him.
All right, so first.
So if he's your master, do you move like Jagger?
Oh God.
No.
So you, in order to be able to move within this net, I need you to give me first a strength saving throw.
That's a slet, man.
Nope. 2.
2. You are basically being bounced up and down as these guys canter, and to even just move an arm, there's just net everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Which is
All right.
good. That means you don't hit the rocks on the ground so hard.
Oh boy.
All right. So you struggle and twist and turn, but to no avail, I'm afraid.
Can't help you, mate.
Yeah,
I'm busy.
Speaking of you being busy, the first centaur swings his club at you, Blackston.
Yes.
Gets a natural 1.
That's a miss.
It is a miss, indeed. It's a 1 and a 9. So his club, he swings at you and lets go of, and it spins out into the dark and buries itself into a tree 50 foot away. Leaving him without a club in that hand. He's going to have to resort to one of his daggers that he carries with him to continue this fight. His companion, the one that you've been slowly eviscerating, he strikes at you. Oh, come on. And misses completely. Mutaru, your gentleman, he steps forward. Do your damage.
As a large cacophonic explosion, 7 points of damage.
7 points of damage. Wow. Okay. This rent opens up in his chest and blood just starts pouring out of him. He is... you can see he's just losing color. His arms are dragging, not as sharp as he was before. But he still somehow manages to swing at you and get a natural 2, so he completely misses. He's obviously losing his will to fight as he takes so much damage. Con, the great bear fight that's happening, you've got him on his knees, he's got his club, but he's basically just beating down on you as you maul him. It's just a mess. It's messy.
It's a brawl at this point.
It's a, yeah.
My roaring growls are muffled.
17 hits you, I believe.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's 13, right?
Yeah.
11.
Or 11. Right, the cat is 13 or 14.
Yeah.
He's the good age.
10
Sacrifice
points
AC
of
for
damage again, and another Constitution saving throw, if you please.
God.
Come on, Fuzzy Fuzzy.
This one's a bit better. This one is 21.
Saving throw, right? So that's fine. Okay, so you've taken your 10 points of damage. All right.
Yep.
Then that's gone, that's gone, that's gone. And so is the sound of several horses as they ride off into the forest with a certain individual in their midst. I will kill you all! Blackston?
All right, so the chieftain. I'm just going to call him chieftain.
Sure. He likes that.
Sure, I'm sure. But how bad does he look? How wounded does he look? Can I make out, like, are his entrails moving over the ground already?
No. He's you've cut him, but it's to the muscle. Nothing more.
That's the question. All right. Well, then let's try to worsen the situation a little bit here. It's gonna get worse. All right. So what I'm gonna do, like, I assume this is more like a dynamic fight rather than just like square by square, right? So I just like dodge a few of these swings from their maces, clubs, and take a little bit of a step. And as he tries to swing down his mace, I grab onto his arm with my shield hand and just like swing myself on his back and just like drive my blade into the back of his chest. So this will very likely to be 2 hits. The lesser one is 19 AC.
Right, that's a hit.
So the first attack is maximum damage with 12, and the second one is another 8 points, so 20 total.
Good lord, alright. 20 points of damage.
And then as he reels, I drop down on the other side and getting ready for the counterattack.
Stunning, lovely description. So yes, you slash into him, muscles tear, blood sprays in all directions. He seems really angry. He looks quite badly damaged at this point. Blood is everywhere. He's in a frenzy more than anything else. Con.
So I'm going to continue to capitalize on having pushed this guy down onto his front knees, as it were. I'm going to literally climb onto his back as well. But now I'm aiming my blows at the spinal column going up the human back, his human back, as it were.
Oh.
So, first off, we will have bite. Trying to bite him. 20.
That's a hit.
And claws. 16, so that's no good. So, bite. 8.
Okay, you bite into him. He cries out in pain. You can see that you've opened up a large swathe of skin and just revealed this raw red muscle underneath, which is not looking very good at all. Mutaru?
Okay, so seeing the gaping hole in his chest, Mutaru still having the stance from before where he's got the Naginata at length, he steps forward, attempting to plunge the Naginata into the gaping wound, and then twist it as he cries out
All right.
Gateway to the Death God realm.
Nice. Make your attack.
21.
Yeah, it's a hit. Do your damage.
8 plus 4, 12.
12 points damage. Okay, he drops to his knees in front of you, gurgling, blood spewing from his mouth as he coughs. As you pull your blade out, again, bits of internal organs, pink oozing lung, and he collapses onto his side, completely dead.
Nice.
And unmoving. Back to the top of the round. Griam, you can barely see your companions as you are being dragged further and further out into the darkness. Are you going to try and escape?
Yep.
Just surrender to your fate.
No, never. 7.
7? So, if I could move, I would kill you. I'm gonna kill you. Later. All right. So with a sinking heart, perhaps you watch as the little circle of stones gets smaller and smaller and eventually is lost amongst the trees.
What's our useless druid doing? Not the useful, but the useless one.
Who knows what he's doing?
Damn it.
He's probably still pretty injured.
He
I'm
was
getting
heavily
the
wounded
new
in the last
character.
attack.
But he was a bear.
He was a bear, yes. Okay, so Blackson on you. You have 2 attacks. The first one swipes at you, hitting an armor class of 19.
Miss.
Second one swings at you, hitting an armor class of 21.
Miss.
Miss. All right, Con. The
Barely, but a miss.
This
he came
mess
really
of-
close. Came close.
well, that's what magic's for, right?
Yeah, that's why I did use this one.
Con, you and this centaur just it's as you drag or bite, he pulls back, but he's not doing any damage to you. He can't do anything to you. Mutaru, you haven't got anyone on you because they're all dead. Which brings us to Blackston.
All right, so as he's trying to kind of turn around and hit me, just coming down from his back, I just he barely misses me. I just get down quick enough, and then the other one comes from behind. There's still 2, right?
That's right,
The other
yeah.
one comes from behind and hits me across the back, but the armor just protects me enough, so I'm just stumbling forward. And as I stumble forward, I kind of take a look around and try to, as I stand next to the guy that on whose back I was, and I just try to just stab him a little bit of clumsy because I'm still a little bit
Right, disorientated from the blow. Yep,
exactly 24 to hit,
that's
but
a hit.
just 5 damage as I kind of turn around.
Just 5 damage. You pull your blade out, it's slick with red blood. You have cut him very deeply. He stumbles as he takes the damage, but is still standing.
Alright, as he stumbles, I just try to bring the blade, then pull it out and bring the blade down. Let him basically do the work for me.
Alright.
25 to hit, 9
That's
points
it.
damage this time.
He drops onto your blade, and with a gurgling, he almost tries to reach out towards you, but then collapses completely dead. His companion, however, seems enraged by this. You realize that perhaps this is a bunch of youngsters trying to show off who's superior, and their failure...
Youngsters. They were supposed to be
is-
the champions.
Wow, it's the champions of the young herd, the buck herd. Okay, Con.
Whilst continuing my assault on this creature, focusing bite on the neck and claws on the spine, but I also draw upon the wellspring of my druidic powers and recover 5 hit points. And then bite, no, claws. Oh, 19. It rolled off a natural 20 onto
Oh.
but that's a 19.
That's a hit.
Claws, that's the good one. Alright. 8, 4, 12.
12 damage. You have the satisfaction of feeling muscle separate from bone, and the centaur gives out an almighty cry as you rip him in half, separating torso from trunk. Blood's spraying everywhere around you. The bear just feeling satisfaction.
Rear back up on my hind legs and just roar at whatever centaur is in sight.
A job well done. Mutaru, you hear this roar, and there's only one centaur left.
It's next to me.
Feeling
correct.
inspired by the roaring of Khan, Mutaru kind of has this weird feeling like I'm gonna try something just because why not? I reach in and I pull out the bamboo from before,
Right.
and I'm going to attempt to channel an eldritch blast through the bamboo and out it like a kind of like a magic wand, I guess, towards the centaur. That's
All right.
hopefully it won't explode, this god-given gift. That would suck. Bang! Well, okay, that's not what it was for. Damn.
Was it worth a try?
It was a shot! I don't know.
All right,
Go
make
for
your
it.
attack.
And be... Okay. Okay, so that is a 19 to hit.
All right, you can roll a second d20 as the reed seems to change the direction of your attack.
No.
It's coming straight for Blackston. Okay, that one's a 23.
All right, so your blast channels through this reed, and as it sails out, you realize that the reed was almost changing the angle that you were aiming at and making your hit a bit more precise.
Okay.
It slams into the centaur that's looming over. Blackston, do your damage.
Sweet. Okay, so that is... Come back. 13 damage.
13 points of damage. Okay, 3 is 2 is damage. Okay, good. All right, it slams into it. Graham, are you going to make another strength check now?
I'm going to try and cast Vicious Mockery and see if that could maybe make him lose his concentration. As I call out, saying like with absolutely no knowledge of what's going on back of the battle, just saying like,
Right.
Isn't this a bit cowardice of you? Your friends are being torn apart in that ring, and you're leaving them behind.
All right. Just a quick question. Does Vicious Mockery have a verbal component to it?
yes.
Does it have a semantic
It's mockery,
component?
right?
yeah,
I
like-
mean,
You literally
Can I
have
not
to
talk?
mock someone.
Yeah, it's just verbal.
Is it just verbal? All right.
Yeah.
No, that's fine. Okay, he gets his saving throw to try and make.
Yep. Wisdom.
Rolled a natural 10, so his saving throw would be 11.
Yes, it's 13. That's my DC.
All right. So,
Let's see. And that is, I rolled a 4, so that's four psychic damage.
take this.
4 psych damage.
You horse, you!
Does he drop the net? No, not on an 18. His concentration is way.
As you hit a log on the ground.
But he certainly feels as if he has been quite successfully mocked. You've cut him deep, Shrek. He really does have questions.
Tiny
Mocked him
tear.
well.
Man. All right.
All right, the last centaur who is standing over Blackston raises his club, swings at Blackston, hits an armor class of 18, doesn't connect, and then is savaged by Blackston. Make your attack, or whatever it is you're going to do.
I will kind of take a look around. He's the only one left standing.
That's right.
What's with the other 11 I saw earlier in the back? Are they still around? Or
they are in the distance. They're watching this battle going on. They seem to be quite interested to see these 4 that have dropped. You're not sure why, but they don't seem to be participating. But
right.
You can't see them all.
I kind of bring my blade up then and point it at him and say like, "Kneel and I will spare you."
Give me an insight check.
Sure. 15 plus 3, 18.
If he kneels now, he will never recover his reputation. So he cannot.
Well, then I will make him kneel. I'll just cut his front legs off. And as he just like bucks up or anything, just like
right.
Oh yes, and I will use my smite on the second attack. So the first one is 19, the second one is 20.
Both
so
hit.
both hit. Not natural 20, just like 20, right? The first one is 11 points. The second one is 11 plus 13. So that's 22, 35 points.
So your first attack, as you say, you cut out his front legs, and as he drops stunned in front of you, you just bring your sword up his chest, cleaving him quite neatly, so that he opens up like a red flower of death. His corpse falls lifeless to the ground, and as he does so, the rest of them turn tail, and you just hear this thundering of hooves as they disappear into the darkness.
And I will use the fur on the horse part,
right,
and to clean my blade, the blood of my blade, and then sheath it.
And on that very gory note, we will be back next week as the ramifications of this battle are brought to light. If you don't stay for the review, thank you for watching. Hit that like button if you want to see us at this in perpetuity. Hit the subscribe button if you want us to continue forever. Either way, it's a good choice. So until next time, thanks for watching. Goodbye. For those of you staying with us for the review section, Dice of Destiny will tell us who is going to sprechen first, and that would be number 3, which is Graham. So, Graham, what did you think of the session? Not impressed.
What do you think?
Yeah.
I don't know. Let me ask my strength roll. Oh, look, an 8, so that's 6. I don't know. No.
Maybe you should lift a little bit.
I don't lift. I mean, you know, overall, like, I mean, it certainly was, no, all right. I'm actually, I don't care. I am so bitter. I really actually am bitter. It was a good session. Everyone, like, you know, got a chance to fight in there. I did feel quite discouraged by the ropes, but, you know, it was a surprise. You know, it's a battle of anything that can happen, and there is absolutely nothing that I could really do. So, not much to comment except, ouch.
Ouch. Ouch, ouch,
ouch is coming.
Yep.
I see. All right, and Blackston dealing out the damage.
To comment on Graham's trouble, yeah, absolutely. I mean, to not be able to do anything is a little bit frustrating, I know this. And as a dungeon master, my general advice is don't do things that take players out of the fight entirely. Put them in danger, yes, but don't just, like, disable them. In this case, I understand that it happened, and obviously, everybody had his own issues to work with. Usually, I absolutely would try and would put myself in danger to get him free. But yeah, I mean, he running away from me and me being in front, and also like surrounded. So yeah, there's nothing I could do. Personally, I would like to give props specifically to Michael, because I really like the different stances and kind of interwoven with his spells. That was really, really cool. I like that very much. And other than that, yeah, man, fuck centaurs. What can I say more?
We don't accept your friendship here.
Yeah. And Michael, man of the match in terms of damage dealt. Well, certainly going beyond the poor lifespan of a centaur. Anyway, what were your thoughts?
Yeah, no, this I think was the first combat we've had since I leveled up and took a little bit of fighter, tiny little bit of fighter. Like, I mean, obviously there was the kind of, you know, performance combat, but I kind of enjoyed that, and I'll talk about that in a second, but obviously I want to do the obligatory echoing of both Simon and Freddie's thing. Same sort of deal, you know, like, yeah, I agree with everything that's being said. Like, sometimes when you get taken out of fights, it can be really tough, and, like, literally, and this goes to everyone out there who knows me, I love Pathfinder, but that is one of the only things I hate about Pathfinder, is just so many things can just take you permanently out of a fight, and you got to be able to know how to deal with it. Whether or not it's give control of a NPC for the player to play with, or give them free chances to break free, or even just break them free at a certain point. It is always something to just bear in mind when you remove someone from you know, an active combat like that. In terms of today, I was actually really excited because, again, I've been, like, gearing up for, like, combat for weeks. Like, you guys don't see what I do behind the scenes. I just sit there like this going, that'd be so cool.
Always listen to the background.
This would be so cool. Yeah.
So it's working out.
Oh, I can't wait. So like, actually, I do have, like, I actually followed, like, a whole Chinese zodiac thing, and I've got, like, different stances, and I tied them all to different spells, and I've done this whole other cool thing. So I was actually really happy. And when Guy sort of did the whole open chest thing, I was like, yes, please let this be the last hit. If it's not, the name is just completely crap. No, but it was so good. I know, I had a ball, I had a blast. Mutaru definitely, again, in his element, and I'm trying out a couple of different things too. Like the first bit where I'm trying to be, because obviously Blackston and I are both frontliners, and with Con stepping into the damage dealing frontliner with his shapeshifting, I was kind of like, well, where does Mutaru fit? And sometimes looking at that perspective is very important. So for me, I want to be Soka. So I had the illusions that create many Mutarus. I had the big stances that if you hit me, you'll regret it. You know, like that kind of character I feel is the direction I'm taking with him. And it was cool to kind of play it and discover it and just get a feel for it. Because sometimes that's what you got to do. You got to see what works for you and see what, you know, flops.
Absolutely. And Con the bear, the tiger.
Well, Con is of the Circle of the Moon, so wild shape is our specialty. It certainly comes in rather handy for fighting, especially larger creatures. So in that sense, Con was a bit in, you know, doing what he does in his element of an honest, straight up fight against an obvious foe,
Right.
as it were. So, you know, you can just kind of let rip.
No pun intended.
As a player, I don't know, maybe it's just nostalgia speaking, but I seem to think that wild shape or beast shape or whatever it was in 3rd edition was a bit more entertaining than 5th, but I don't know.
I mean, you get more toys as you level up.
Yeah, but that's just a minor thing. Ultimately, I mean, I think it's cool in the fact that, you know, I can do stuff in that form. It's quite a cool thing, like sacrifice a spell slot to regain hit points and stuff like that. It's bonus action for me to transform into a creature as well, so it's a kind of fast dynamic that I kind of like.
Right.
Suits
Very
my style as well. Yeah,
It felt really
versatility.
cinematic, all of you guys.
Yeah. It was quite a dramatic battle, wasn't it, with the centaurs in the forest. Well, hopefully we'll rescue you next week, Master.
I'm sure Guy has some interesting story stuff in store for us with the rescue of Graham, or I mean, perhaps we'll just carry on our way and leave him to his fate.
Well,
Would be the smart thing to do.
You never know.
I'll save you, Graham.
Anyway, thank you for staying with us as we did our brief review of the session where everyone seems to think separating Master Freddy from the combat is, well...
I mean, you run away. It's just like...
So Graham's gone. Oh well. We knew him well.
We knew him well. Alas, poor Graham. All right, until next time, thanks for watching. Have a good one. Happy playing, happy gaming. And from all of us, goodbye.